In this video, we are going to talk about how I have migrated away from SiteGround into AWS LightSail. Now, here's a backstory why I'm moving away. I've been a SiteGround customer since 2017. Back in the day, I have started off with a teaser rate, which was $190 for 2 years, and that was amazing. And most of these web hosting companies, what they do is they sell too much and then the quality of the service is really crap. And SiteGround is amazing. I don't have anything bad to say about them. Service have been always top notch, especially when they first started out, when I first started out with them in 2017. But over the years, it's just gotten more and more expensive to the point where I think my latest renewal, let me jump into this slide, was last year was, it was charging about $300 and some dollars, right? So this hosting expired in December 2021. And then I renewed it, and obviously it expired again in December 2022. And at that point I said, you know what? I'm not going to renew it for a year. I'm going to just renew it for a month just to get enough time for me to go ahead and migrate it away from SiteGround and as well as document this whole thing. Now, even if I was paying $30 a month, it's still significantly more than what I would pay for the same service on AWS LightSail. Now, one can say, hey, Saji, there is more management and headaches on AWS LightSail. I would say yes, but nevertheless, I was also on the hook for that kind of maintenance, a little bit less maintenance on SiteGround as well, plugin updates, things like that, and a lot of them can be automated. If you follow me, you are going to learn some of those things that you can automate, but not today. Today's focus is only about how do I move a site that's in SiteGround into AWS LightSail. We're going to create an instance and so forth. The only thing I want you to know is I just did not like the price point, which is $30 a month or a $300 lump sum payment. It's just like, it's a big hit. I mean, at $3.50 or maybe $5 a month, it's a lot more something I can digest and do with it. But if you don't want to save money, that's fine. It's up to you, to each his own. But everything that I can do on SiteGround, I can do it on AWS LightSail and maybe more. With that, let's jump in. So one thing is, again, I went through all these things. Let's go here. Here's the high level migration. There are two ways to migrate. One is if you go to something like SiteGround or Bluehost and so forth. One thing you will notice is that you buy one hosting and you can host up to 5, 10, 15, 20 different websites. And now, while that's amazing, the only thing is it just gets super tedious to export it out or move into another platform. Right, and that was the case in my situation. What I was going to say is there are two ways you can do it. Like, say if you have only one site with SiteGround or let's Bluehost or whatever who host it is, it's like 1:1 mapping, and that's far more easier. Then say you have a hosting package where you are hosting now 5 different websites, like I have that, and I'm doing that. Right, so then you don't want to fire off like 6 different AWS instances, because if you do that, then obviously it's 6 times 5 is 30. So you are better off into using SiteGround. Now, on the flip side, you can actually opt in for a bigger size AWS LightSail instance, such as a $5, and I think a $5 instance would do sufficiently enough. And then you install WordPress MU, which is WordPress multi-site, and then you can have as many sites as you can fit in there. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in this demo. So here we go in SiteGround. Here is one of the sites that I'm hosting there, and obviously you can see this. It's personal website. It hasn't been built yet. It's right here. I'm gonna reload it. Something I was working on it, and then I decided, you know what, I don't want to work on it yet. I'm just too many projects on my plate. So let's jump into WordPress. And here we go. And then from here, I'm gonna be able to log into the admin panel of my site. Now, before you can migrate, and there are plenty of ways to migrate it, but one of the easiest and the best way I found out is this plugin move called Prime Mover. Oh, I'm sorry. Go to add new. And by the way, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and pause as is needed so that I'm not just like watching the water boil. Prime Mover. Yep, this is something you want to install on both sides. So it's installing, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate. Oh, it logged me out. So let's pause here and let's see why. Okay, now that I have logged in, I'm back here. It's asking me for Prime Mover stuff. I don't need to do all these things. I don't want to get their notifications, things like that. Okay, after you have installed, you're in this thing, which is the Prime Mover plugin things. And what you're going to do is go to packages and just say create packages. Okay, this is where it comes in. Are you going to do 1:1 or 1:multiple? So basically, you have only one site in your host, and you are going to go ahead and migrate to you migrate only that instance. Then obviously it's 1:1. So, and I want everything, and I was just going to say export to single site format. So the first instance is going to be I'm exporting to a single site format, and then I will stop this video and I'll cut a new video where I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it in a multi-site format, because the process is almost the same. It's just that there are little nuances. Okay, so I say single site format, click on export, and it's exporting. I'm going to pause it right now. Export process is completed, so I need to download it right now. So I'm going to pause again. It's downloaded. Again, that was fast because this is a site in work in progress, so there's not much files, so it was pretty fast. And again, this is great for this example. Now, I downloaded right away. If for some reason you accidentally close this window, you can always go into Package Manager. Again, it will always be here. So right now we have a single site export. We did that, and this is all good. Now let's hop into our LightSail console. As you can see, I already have two instances running. One was a test. There are different things happening, but let's just create an instance. Now, obviously, this, you're going to create an instance region based on where you are. My closest one is in Virginia, so that's fine. I could even go to, say, Montreal, West. Doesn't really matter for me. It's still within the US. But you pick what it is. I want to choose Unix, and I'm going to do 1:1 ratio, which is one website to one instance of LightSail. So I will keep this. For the next video, we're going to use multi-site. And then we are gonna go ahead and choose our price point. Say $3.50. I get 512 megabytes of RAM, 1 CPU, and 20 gigs of SSD space. I could bump it up into $5, and I'd still get significantly more than what I would get for in SiteGround. But since this is just a test video, I'm just gonna pick this one. Identify what it's called. Let's just call it WordPress 1, and we're going to create instance. Now, one thing I haven't shared with you or shown in these things is how do you create the SSH keys, things like that. That should be something for another day. You don't need to worry about it right now, because everything that we need to do can be done from the web interface. So let's wait until the provisioning is complete. Provisioning is complete. Let's go in. Just another thing I want you to know is, right now we have a public IP address, but this is not static. So every time we reboot, this IP address is going to change. We don't want that, especially if it's going to be a website. We want it to be a static. And for that, what we want to do is go to networking, and we need to create a new IP address. create IP address, we're going to just click on attach IP address. Let's just call it, it's showing me an option of static IP3 is because I've already have created two for those two instances that are already running. So I'm going to give them some descriptive name. It's because it's for WordPress 1 static IP3. Give whatever descriptive name you want to give so that it's easier for you to, when you look at it, you say, oh, this is for this instance. I'm going to give it create and attach. Let's wait. Okay, so it's click on continue, and this is my static IP address. Okay, so now when I go into home, this is my IP address. See how it's changed. Now I obviously don't have to log in for the first time. So what I need to do is, if I copy this IP and go to this IP address, so here we go, right? It's there, and I want to log into WP admin. Now you're gonna say, Sajid, we do not know the username and password. Worry not, my friends. What we are gonna do is we are going to go here and we are going to go back. Here we go. Click on this button. It's going to pull up this window, and it's going to bring you to it's going to pop up a window, and it's going to bring you to a window like this, which is the same instance. If you look at the IP address, it's the same instance. It's 44.196.94.175, 44.96.194.175. Internally, it has a different internal IP address, but don't worry about it. So you're going to do ls, and you're going to see a file called bitnami credentials. So you just type in cat. Let's copy that, paste. Oh, sorry. Let's just do this. Bitnami credentials. There we go. So you see the username, user, and the password is this. So we're gonna copy this, copied, and the user is user. So you use that to log in. Click on remember me. Oh, let me make sure I copied the wrong. No, I did not copy the right password. That's why I got an error message. And let me find that window. There we go. Copy. Yep, I copied it. And now let's go in here. Yep, click on login. There you go. Okay, cool. So we are in our WordPress, and then what we are gonna do is go to plugin, add new, prime mover. We're gonna install now, and we're gonna import the package. Escape. Now, one thing I will tell you, right before we import, this is the IP of our new website, and our website old host that we want to change is this one. It makes sense for us to change the host in the DNS and all the entries right now pointing to this, because by doing so, what happens is we are going to make things a lot easier for us down the road. We have already migrated everything that we want to migrate off of here, and our my host hosting my DNS company is named Silo. So I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna change that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause it. Let me log in there first. into name silo, and here is the stuff for siteislam.com, and you see the name servers right now they're pointing to SiteGround. I'm going to change that to, I'm going to continue, since I'm moving away from SiteGround, I'm going to use the one that comes with a name silo. And I'm going to say select the default name servers instead of the premium ones. It's just going to cost money. There we go. And it takes about an hour or so for the names of, actually, 15 minutes. So I'm going to come back in 15 minutes. While I'm waiting, I also want to go ahead and update the DNS records. Right now there shouldn't be anything. It might be something else. These are all wrong, so I'm going to delete these. At one point I used to have it on I was pointing it to lead pages. So what I want to do is create an A record, and then I want to use the IP address of my LightSail instance, which is this one. I'm doing copy, and here unfortunately name silo does not give me a TTL less than 3600, which is an hour, so I'll do that. And then I'm gonna add one more A record. This is going to be www, and let's put 3600, and let's wait. Okay, looks like our domain change has been successful, and it has propagated around the internet, because if I look at it, it's pointing to the IP address of our stuff server. So now when we go here, it's my browser is still caching. Give me 1 second. Okay, the DNS entries in my local machine has also been updated. So now when I refresh it, it's gonna give me an error message, because obviously this certificate does not belong to, here we go, it's example.com. This is the generic certificate that came with AWS, but and we will resolve that in the in the next few minutes. But first, let's get our site migrated. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to log in, and yeah, I agree. I need to, the username is user, remember that, and I forgot the password. So let's open up a console here. Cat bitnami tab, here we go. Copy, and let's look at the password and make sure it doesn't show me. Let's see. There we go. Voila, we are in. Now we're going to go to plugins, add new. You know what? Just to avoid doing that warning, I'm just going to do HTTP, and then plugins, add. Oh, we already installed it, I guess. Yes, we did. I didn't even realize that. I apologize. And then we're gonna go to migration tools. We're gonna click on import package. So I'm gonna pause it while I select the file name. Give me 1 sec. Analyzing this package, and it's going to ask me, it's going to take about 4 minutes. Say yes. Let's pause. It's still updating. We are almost there. So I'm going to pause again and I'll resume once the upgrade is complete or upload is complete. So the site's done. So let's check a look in posts, all pages, and let's see the page. There we go. It even brought in my, let's change things around, so make sure that we are on the new site, not the old site. So to do that, all pages coming soon. Let's edit. Okay, I'm updating this template, and then let's go. This is the one. (2023). Okay. We did that. So now, if we were to go to visit site, say there we go. So the one thing we haven't fixed, we need to fix is the SSL, which is HTTPS, and we could have done it the first time. Let's do that now. Let me find out if I still have that over here. We go. So here we should have tool call, which is beansert. So we do this and type in beansert. Insert. Okay, I think I'm going crazy. Let's see. Oh, I apologize. There we go. Oh, sorry, again. It's happening. It's just gonna wait a few seconds. Domain list is this. Do you say yes to that? Enable yes. Yes. So no. I say yes. I agree. It's gonna do its magic. Let's pause while it finishes its magic. It's magic. Then say yes. There you go. So it's done. Now when I do this, obviously it's HTTP, and there you go. See how it is secure now? Was except for the delays with changing the DNS as well as uploading and downloading, exporting and exporting and importing the packages and installation of the package, I don't think it took that long to move to things. So the last is it's connecting. Give me 1 second. Get Bitnami credentials. Okay. And login. Voila, everything is good. Now the one other item that we need to do is we need to set up the email things, because if the email is not set up, then WordPress does send you email once in a while, and it will not. So to set up emails, if you go to, you want to receive emails from your website, especially for WordPress, especially if you want to change your password, you forgot your password, things like that, like this is the default username. If I were to change this user email address, which I need to because it's user@example.com, I cannot. I will get into if I forget that, it just creates problems. And to do that, I need to go into plugins, and I need to use, let me see, WP Mail SMTP. I need to activate that and go back to the dashboard, and there are different options I can choose from. And in my case, in my situation, we can use Amazon SES. It's minimal cost, about 10 cents or 20 cents a month or something like that. I'm gonna create a separate video to show you how to create that. We can, but for that we need to move to the pro version of this plugin, which I don't want to do it. We can use SendGrid. It's very easy. I will show you how to do that. Or we can do Zoho email, but I think Zoho also requires you that you move to the upgrade version. SendGrid gives you up to 100 emails a day or a month. I'm not sure, but if it's a small volume website, you will be just fine. If not, pay the additional money to either SendGrid, or you can move into something like Gmail. I think Outlook also costs you money, or just upgrade the to the SMTP premium version, which is about $50 a year, and then you have open up everything else. Okay, so let me pause now and let's jump into the next video.